Hi there, and welcome to Volume 3 of my Artisan Fountain Pen collection walkthrough. In this one last part for now, you will see pens that you might have seen in my previous videos as I unbox them. But I'm going to talk about these pens in a slightly different manner, and at the end of the video I will have my personal rating and my personal top pens shown and talked about. Now, if you remember, recently I had reviewed something that I called my Grail pen, and it really is. This is a pen by Atelier Lusso. So Eric of Atelier Lusso makes these incredible pens that are a next level craftsmanship. It's a very heavy, pleasantly heavy pen. So it's not extremely heavy, but it's pleasantly heavy. So this is Karina Hapalua 15. All of this is brass. Nicely lined. You can find a whole review video on this pen as well on my channel. Please take a look. But this is definitely the most expensive handmade pen in my collection. It is incredibly beautiful. The craftsmanship is wonderful. He takes a long time and skill, and it's definitely worth the price to be paying for these pens. So everything is beautiful, beautifully made, lined brass. It's going to patina beautifully over the years. So this is a pen that will stay with you for a long time. And this is my handmade, hand-turned, handcrafted Grail pen for a reason. It is that way and will stay that way. So here you go. All right, so if you have watched my channel for a little while, you might know that I intended to go to San Francisco Pen Show this year, and that never happened. So I ended up getting this pen. This is the one I really wanted to get from Michaela of White Bear Pens. And by a miracle, by the end of the show, which is an extremely busy show, one of the busiest in the US, she still had this pen. So this pen reminds me of San Francisco in general. Whenever I look at it, it's a beautiful pen. And it's a beautiful city. So let's take a look. Once again, I've reviewed this pen, and there is a video on it on my channel. You can take a look. So I'm not going into depth here. It's Jovo nib again. Very nice and branded and medium, because that's what I prefer. Medium and broads, sometimes stubs. Very rarely do I go with a fine. But wonderful pen. Pretty fingernails, and duly recommend for the wonderful nature and just the wonderful character that Michaela is. She designs these pens. This one is in the Ursa model, with a lot of love and innovation. And please check her out. I'll leave all the information in the description. So if you've seen my last two videos, I've talked about Megan from Black Robin pens and the two pens of hers that I've gotten. I was looking for a long time because she was looking forward for a long time because she was on the maternity leave, and her shop was closed, so I don't remember how long the wait was for me. just wait for her to reopen, right? But when she did, you couldn't stop me. It was a lot of beautiful stuff in there. So I went with 2 pens instead of 1. The 2 models I have are both Ophelia, but the difference is the girth. This is your standard Ophelia, and her hand cast blank, which is awesome because she does make beautiful blanks, and she also sells blanks, not only pens. So this is her own creation, and you know, from top to bottom, I would say, except for the nib, because that's Yovo again. And so this is standard Ophelia. Well, this is Grand Ophelia, and this is in a Jonathan Brooks, I think, as well. Water Lily Koi colorway. Beautiful. So I saw it and I needed it. I have a slight preference towards this pen just because the section is a little bit girthier and much more suited for longer writing sessions. So I could go for a very long haul with this one. So these 2 beautiful pens are my latest additions to my collection. And so they are by Black Robin Pens. And let's take a look at all of them together, shall we? All right. Here we go. All my beautiful pens together. This might not seem like a lot of pens for some, and for some it might seem a lot of pens. For having had collected hand-turned pens for only 2.5 years now, I'm also very picky and very intentional when it comes to my pens and my buys. So for me, this is a wonderful collection and exactly how I wanted it to be. So it's a bit of a sample size, I guess. So many different types and makers. And I couldn't be happier. It's a beauty. So I may take them all out and for you to see. All right. These are a little pen design. Pendragon pens. Then Wooltown. All 3 of these are Wooltown pens. Horatio from Romania. And Chris from the UK. Rob from Rob Penworks right here. Edison Pen Co. Collier. Parallel nib. Very long, beautiful pen. There we go. Then this is Abigail Markov. Atelier Lusso. White Bear pens. Black Robin pens. And here we are. All of them together. 2.5 years of making. All right, guys. So what do I love about handmade pens and this sample size of a collection is that they're all unique. So that's the beauty of hand turn and handmade, even if it's a blank that someone else has used before and turned before. And, bigger companies like Leonardo also use Jonathan Brooks blanks, and Jonathan Brooks is here and here. I believe this one is Jonathan Brooks as well as this one too. And you can find these blanks in the wild made by bigger companies, but the beauty of them all, even in the big company cases, is that the colors come out slightly different. So this is if you're looking for a specific colorway, and if you're looking for specific way colors show up and swirls show up. I had a great, just a great time looking at the handmade pens. A lot of times when you commission a pen, a maker would go out of their way just, to start turning and consulting with you about the blank and if you like what you're seeing. So that definitely happened with me when I was working on this commission with Rob, who would ask me and was very thorough, sending me pictures of each and every step. So there you go. That's one of the big reasons for working, with an artisan pen maker. I am an artisan maker myself, so I'm very appreciative of the skill. Each and every pen will be unique to you. You'll be having this one out of one pen, which is awesome. And then another thing is that I've heard people talk about kind of feeling particular about the threading, and I've talked about it a little bit, and they all are different. So I always encourage you to ask the maker, or better yet, test these pens if you can get your hands on from your friends or the shows and gatherings. But they're all very different when it comes to threading. So if you're sensitive to that, definitely inquire. My favorite would be like the elongated sections for holding. So, elongated or like bigger, girthier sections. I do not find any of these pens unusable whatsoever. They're wonderful. I can write with them for a while. And so this leads me to, I guess, a negative. The one negative is most of these cannot be posted, which it's not a deal breaker for me personally, right? They're extremely beautiful pens, and I treat them as such, as arts of work in their own right. So, for example, this pen, I wouldn't want to post it anyway because it's so long, and it would be ridiculous. So instead of posting, I would just be happy to write with it. And while I'm writing, I have this beautiful cap on the table next to me, and I just keep on admiring these beautiful, beautiful colors and swirls in here. And I think this is another point to make, right? If you're like me with limited space or resources, it is incredibly important that you buy things that bring you joy, that you have memories and earnings and, incredibly positive things to reflect on whenever you see your pen. And each and every pens here give me these feelings and memories. So the very last thing I would love to tell you about is my currently favorites out of the year. So you've heard me talking about this one being extremely well used, and it has. However, my top 5s do change constantly. And so my current top 5 favorites here are drum roll, please. Number 1, Grand Ophelia. She is beautiful, comfortable to write with, and everything I've, ever wanted. It's beautiful, sensual. The colors are incredible on this blank, and I can write with it for a very, very long time. So that's number 1. Number 2 is this Karina Hapalua 15 from Atelier Lusso. Similar reasons, incredibly beautiful pen. So I would just have it like this, admire it while I write, and it is extremely comfortable. So, I've not had a writing session when I have not enjoyed writing with it. I also see myself reaching for it, for this pen. So we have 2 favorites so far. So the third one, Antique Lilac by Abigail Markov. So, it's beautiful. Nothing I can, say here will be, I don't know, I'm going to do it justice, because it's just something you have to hold in your own hands and try. And I think Abigail has really perfected her craft during these years while crafting these pens, and I think I'm pretty lucky to have one of her best creations here. Again, none of this can be posted, but if you can post, you can admire the cap, the colors, the craftsmanship by just placing the cap next to you when you write. All right, so next up is number 4, and that would be Deep Space Delight. I've inked it and have it inked with the beautiful deep red. That is one of my favorite inks, and that's Mulled Wine by Diamine. You might be familiar with it. I have a beautiful love letter to it, if you will, in my inks for this fall. So check out my video if you want to see kind of a bit of a more swatching of the ink that's in here. But, I love this pen so much, and I love the ink that's in here, and it just makes such a beautiful combination for me. So number 4, and the last one, oldie but goodie, Horatio Agostocci, beautiful ebonite pen. This has been inked with one ink and one only. Detrimentus Gray Green, I believe was the name. It's an archival grade ink, which means it is a water-resistant ink. So it is perfect. Everything about this pen is perfect. Everything about all of these pens is perfect. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me for this exhibition of appreciation. Please stay tuned for more collection updates and other things to come. Thank you.